How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Since 33. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This video is just going to be showing you guys some amazing online resources of how to study theology for free. All this is online, it's for free, and it's great if you want to deepen your theological studies or your biblical studies, if you want to grow in charity, if you want to grow in knowledge of our Lord. This is the video for you. Some of these sites you might already know, like for example, New Advent. I'll still show it anyway, because there's a lot of cool stuff there anyway. Some of them you might not know. If you know all of these, then that's awesome. But we're going to get started. Some of these are going to be Catholic, some of these are going to be Protestant. So I'll show you how to actually read Protestant works and to actually understand their beliefs. It's important that we do that and we represent them properly. And I'll show you some interdenominational sites as well, where you can find both Protestant and Catholic works. But we're going to get started. I'll show you two amazing Bible commentary websites, or at least Bible commentaries. So you have the Catena Bible. Catena just means chain in Latin. And so chain, it's basically showing that when you click on this verse, it pulls up a lot of quotes from the church fathers on this verse. You have St. Augustine, St. Ambrose, St. Athanasius here. And basically it's a chain because it goes back to the early church, right? It connects us through the centuries back to our forefathers in the church. And basically every single verse here that has a red number before the verse, there's a commentary on it. Some of them are from the church fathers, some of them are from later Catholic theologians and writers, but pretty much every book will have most of its verses highlighted in red so that you can read what the church fathers said. If you want a more comprehensive Bible commentary, you can search up George Leo Haydock. George Leo Haydock was an English Catholic priest in the, I believe, 19th century, 18th and 19th century. And he has an amazing commentary online. You just literally search Haydock commentary online. By the way, I know I said it was going to be free, but if you ever want to get a Bible that's beautiful and large, I recommend getting this one. I got it as a gift once. It's beautiful, has amazing art in it, has amazing commentary in it from George Leo Haydock, and it's great. But if you just want to read his commentary online, you just go here, search him up. I think it's the second link here on Bing. And let's say I want to read New Testament, Gospel of John, and bam, there I am. I can go to whatever chapter, and here's his commentary. It's amazing. It's pretty much comprehensive. There's pretty much every verse, or like 95% of verses have a commentary on them. And yeah, it's amazing. Next thing I want to get into is New Advent. Now, New Advent, pretty much anyone who does not live under a rock knows about New Advent. It's where I go to to quickly find stuff, although it's not like the very best. I think there are some better websites, but it's amazing. You have the Catholic Encyclopedia here. So let's say I want to learn more about, sin and the divisions of sin. I go here, I search for the Catholic Encyclopedia, and there you go. You have the nature of sin, division into mortal and venial sin. And you have a bunch of, if you don't know what the Catholic Encyclopedia is, it was a 20th century project compiling an encyclopedia of the Catholic faith. And it covers pretty much anything you can imagine about the Catholic faith. You also have the Summa Theologica from St. Thomas Aquinas. This is great. I'm going to show you later on a website that I think is a better resource for St. Thomas, for reading St. Thomas, but the New Advent is where my go-to. So if I want to find something quickly in the Summa, this is my go-to. It divides it up by the parts, and it divides it up within there by every single question. And then when you open the question, it's divided into articles. And it's very well organized. You can click and it'll take you to that article. It's amazing, very well formatted, very beautiful. You have the church fathers and also some councils here. St. Athanasius, St. Augustine, St. Jerome will be here. St. John Chrysostom. Let me get to Chrysostom so you can see. There's really no excuse. If you want to really grow in your faith, look, he has a commentary on pretty much most of the books in the New Testament. Acts, Romans is great. Ephesians, Philippians. So really, there's really no excuse. There's so much content on here online for free that you'll just never get to it in your entire life. You just won't. Through these holy men wrote some amazing pieces reflecting on his holy scriptures, and they will never be read entirely by everyone, by anyone who's ever lived. It's amazing. So choose wisely what you're going to read. Don't read in vain. Meditate on it. Contemplate it, especially if you're reading St. Thomas. And yeah, the next website I'll show you is the Catholic Library Project. This one's amazing. So I'll just open it here, Google up, click. Before I show you the actual writings that they have, I'll show you the art, beautiful art here. Whenever I'm making a video and I want some background art, it's biblical scenes all the way from Adam and Eve to the Gospels and afterwards, and even some stuff throughout church history. Like if I click on the saints here, you'll see some of the both men and female saints. It's great, beautiful art. But if I go back home to the Catholic Library Project home, I have here in the top left all of the centuries. Not even like from the time of Christ, but even before. I'm pretty sure it'll have some Aristotle. Yeah, there you go. But if you go to the first century, so 00, you'll have the Epistle of Barnabas. You'll have the Didache somewhere there. You have let's see, Ignatius of Antioch. You have Clement of Rome. Okay. If you go to the second century, you'll have some anonymous writings. Okay. You have Justin Martyr. You have Juvenal. You want to read St. Augustine. I'm pretty sure this isn't entirely comprehensive, but it's almost comprehensive. You have like pretty much 97% of St. Augustine's works here. Just scroll down here. Come on, there you go. I mean, pretty much everything. You want to read his letters, his epistles. You want to read on baptism against the Donatists. You want to read his confessions. They're all here. So if I say I want to read City of God, I just open that in a new tab, and bam, there you have it. You have each book broken down by chapter to your left. Let's say I want to read this 8th book, first chapter. Bam, there it is right there. You have it both here in English and in Latin. So yeah, you have St. Jerome. You have for example, let's say I want to read John Henry Newman. You have here his essay on the development of doctrine. Although I recommend you read other works of his other than just his common development of doctrine essay. Father Gary Gould-Lagrange, I was just reading a few weeks ago his commentary on grace, or the sections on grace from St. Thomas Aquinas in the Summa. He has amazing works here. He's pretty much the most famous Thomist in our recent times. If you want to read St. Robert Bellarmine, so St. Robert Bellarmine, they only have like one work of his, and that is to show that this is not a comprehensive website. They won't have absolutely every single work that an author ever produced, but it's still pretty great. So if I want to find something, I usually check here first or second, and if it's not here, then I go into other, more comprehensive websites. Next thing I'll show you is Aquinas.cc. This is an amazing resource for reading St. Thomas Aquinas. Obviously, they have his Summa Theologica. They have the Summa Contra Gentiles. They have his commentary on the sentences. My favorite is his Bible commentaries. I'm currently going through Job. He has a few others on the Old Testament. He has 2 on the Gospels, Matthew and John. He has one pretty much on every Pauline letter, Romans all the way down to Hebrews. And he also has the Catena Aurea, which is Latin for golden chain. So golden chain is basically means that he put together a commentary on the 4 Gospels where it's purely the church fathers. So let's say I want to read Mark chapter 2. I go to Mark chapter 2, and bam, you have St. Bede, St. Augustine, Pseudo-Chrysostom, Theophylact. So Theophylact was not really a church father. He was later on, I think 11th or 12th century. But that's why it's called a chain. It's a golden chain because it's from his time all the way back to the early church, St. Cyril, and so on. This is beautiful, beautiful. Again, so much writing. You will never get to all of this in your lifetime. So choose wisely and choose something that's going to make you grow in faith, hope, and charity. Next is the Post-Reformation Digital Library. So I'm going to go back to Google. And I'm doing this all on the spot. As you can tell, I'm just literally searching for it. So this demonstrates how easy it is to find this stuff. The Post-Reformation Digital Library, as you can tell by the name, is a digital library of works during and after the Reformation. So let's say I want to read, Martin Chemnitz, Lutheran Reformer, whatever work this may be, I don't know. Down over here to the right, you have these little PDF icons. Let me pick somebody else. I don't know, Bellarmine, someone I'm more familiar with. Here you have The Art of Dying Well, a very famous work of his. Over here to the right, you'll find it in PDF format. I'm not so sure what these other little icons are. I always just do PDF. But PDF, I click on this, open a new tab, and this takes me to the Internet Archive website. Bam, there it is, the full book right there. I mean, this is beautiful. We have so many resources in the tip of, in our fingertips. There is no excuse if someone wants to grow closer to God by studying our holy Catholic faith. This is beautiful at how many resources we have online. So this took me to this website called Internet Archive. But some of them will take you to Google Books, which is just fine as well. And a lot of them, most of these writings are going to be in Latin. Don't let that stop you though if you don't understand or if you don't know Latin. one thing you could do is just try to learn Latin slowly, but that's going to take you a few months. If you want to read something right now, literally just search ChatGPT. It won't give you an absolutely perfect translation, but it'll be pretty close. I've tried it, and I don't know. So like, for example, I don't know what this work is. I'm just clicking on a random work there. Come on, please work. This will probably be in Latin, I assume. Yeah, so like some of these PDFs, like this one right here, for example, I can copy what the text says. I can just Control C, Control V this into Latin, into ChatGPT. I can just say, hey, translate this stuff. Translate, bam. Now, some of the Latin text will be easier to read than others, so just watch out for that. You might copy something and the computer might detect it as differently. But there you go. It just translated that entire paragraph into English or whatever language you want to translate it into. And you can do that with entire pages. So another amazing resource is the Post-Reformation Digital Library. Then there's also Isidore. I haven't used Isidore too much. I've used it a few times. I think it's called should have practiced for this. Yeah, I really don't use Isidore that much, but I've got .co. I've gotten a few works from it. Another good place where you can find stuff. I know that you can here, not /Aquinas, just in general. There you go, perfect. So now you can go here to the search bar that's in there, and I think I got something from Pesh up here. So I just searched Pesh, and I got a few of his works here. I think I was reading his dogmatic treatise on the sacraments a few days ago. So Isidore.co, you can find maybe some other authors there. Okay, now I think we're going to switch over to, oh no, there's one more thing I want to show you for the Catholic theology, if you want to study that. If you're not aware, I don't know how to pronounce it. I know Migne is his last name, but Jacques Paul Migne, yeah. He was a 19th century French Catholic priest who translated or who wrote down and copied like pretty much the most extensive library of the fathers that we have. So that's why it's called Patrologia. He has one volume in Latin for the Latin fathers and one in Greek. So if you want to just say, like, if you really cannot find a certain writing from a church father in the Catholic library project that I gave you or in New Advent, this is where I resort to pretty much. If I cannot find it online, then I'll go to his Patrologia Grecia, I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. But this is awesome. You just got to know how to index it properly. But for example, if I go to like the very first one, it'll take me to a Google Books link. I can open it there. I think the first one should be like what? It should probably be like Epistle of Barnabas or Didac. Oh, okay, so it's Clement. So it's Saint Clement, right? Because it's the very first one. And obviously, as you increase in these numbers, you're going to go more and more deeper into time, from like Clement to Saint Chrysostom to later fathers. And there's the Patrologia Latina, which is, you guessed it, the Latin fathers. It's in a similar format online, but I'm going to show you an even better way of studying this. So I believe the 30s are St. Augustine. I just don't know the exact range, but like I know 38 is like definitely St. Augustine. There you go. So like if I click on that, right here you have this big document of St. Augustine. I don't even know, these are his sermons, it seems, sermon 35 right here. And the way this works is that in the top left and top right, you'll have these paragraph numbers. So if someone were to tell you, let me see if I can zoom in here. There you go. So if someone were to tell you, I don't know, like, this is just me typing. If someone were to tell you Patrologia Latina 34, I don't know, 45 or 450, that just means it's the 34th book or volume and the 450th paragraph. So what I do is, this only works for the Patrologia Latina. I'm sure there's maybe another website for the Greek one, but I just search up the Corpus Corporum. It's Latin for the body of bodies. And there's a certain, so I usually just go on this one. I think this is like some European university. I don't know. They have the library online though. This is an amazing website. Like when I really want to get into the Latin of one of the church fathers, this is where I go. And so let's say I want to read St. Augustine. So I go PL 36, I don't know, 450. And that is St. Augustine's commentary on the Psalms. Okay. Or if you don't know the indexing, then you can just search the actual name. For example, let's say I want Jerome. I literally just search Jerome. And here we go. First one, St. Jerome. And it'll bring me to all of his works. It's a little slow sometimes. That's fine. Here, let me search Jerome again. There we go. Authors. Here are all of his works. Commentaries, epistles. Pretty much. It's amazing. And so you open something, for example, so the Book of Ruth. I just open that. Click on that. Open text, and right here I have it. To the right, you'll find the indexing for the Patrologia Latina, and so you can actually cite it that way. This right here, for example, would be PL 28543. If you want to include the letter C, that's fine too. But yeah, this is another great way to really like get every single last inch of the church fathers. If it's written down by the church fathers, it's going to be in some of these websites that I've shown you. Now let's get into Protestant websites. Very easily, you can just simply, so I'm going to go back to Google. If you want to read the basic confessions, I mean, they're all online. So like the Westminster Confession of Faith, online, super easy, not too hard. You have this from Migne. Just open that. Definitely not a hard find, but definitely I would recommend if you're trying to learn about Protestantism, I would just definitely search for their confessions. You also have the same thing for like the Lutheran ones, like the Augsburg Confession, also online for free. There you go, Book of Concord. You can do that one. Personally, I prefer this one, this second one here. I just think it's better. But yeah, these are like the basic Lutheran and Protestant and Reformed confessions. Now, if you want to get into their actual authors, let's say, I don't know, John Calvin is a very basic one to start with. You have John Calvin's Institutes. You can find them online. Calvin's Institutes online. I'm literally doing this like just recording this. Like this is not planned. I'm just literally searching with you guys as I record this video. So here, Calvin's Institutes in the Christian Classic Library. I go here to the left and I have his first, second, third, and fourth book. It's all here. It's all here. His fourth book, chapter 14, is on the sacraments. I know that much because I studied that for a lot. And then afterwards, it's on baptism, infant baptism, and so on. So this is John Calvin. You can read also his Bible commentaries. I know when I want to understand or know, perhaps what some Reformed said about a certain verse, I usually start with Calvin. And so I would like Calvin commentary on Romans or something. And I should have used Google. For example, it's also on the same website. Here you go. I go here to the next page and it's all there. I mean, it's all there. We have an amazing amount of resources online to study this stuff. Another amazing website is Reformed Books Online. And here you're going to find pretty much Reformed opinions, obviously ranging between like theologians you've never heard of to theologians that carry significant weight on pretty much every single topic, like every single topic. Funny enough, like sometimes they even compare themselves to like how do they compare to St. Thomas Aquinas or some of our Catholic authors, so that's pretty good to know. But I usually address this or reference this website when I want to know where to start. So for example, let's say I want to know what the Reformed teach on creeds. Okay, so here we are on creeds. It'll give you a little bit of a scripture introduction, and then it will start just listing stuff from 1500s, 1800s, to 2000s. And so, I don't know, in the Apostles' Creed, who wrote this? John Forbes. I've never heard of this one, this theologian in particular. But I click here, it takes me to this here. I mean, I don't know, I've never been on this website before, right? But there you go, I could read whatever work this was. If I want to learn more about the creed, then I don't know, let's say I want to access this guy. I really have no clue. It's just so extensive. It'll surprise you, like how much stuff you can find on here. And yeah, I mean, it would just take me to all these different books online. What this website does is it gives you a small little paragraph of what that church father says, but if you click the blue text, it'll take you to the link, and it will give you the entire work usually. This one's on the canon. You can imagine this is going to be a pretty long website. But yeah, so this is it for this video. That's all I have, but I hope this helps somebody if you just want to learn how to study theology online, all for free. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff. You're never going to read all of it. So just study what you like, study what gets you closer to God, meditate on it, find Christ in all that you do. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Please subscribe if you are not already subscribed. And yeah, God bless you.